Okay, let's dive into a trade deal so massive it could literally redefine the global economic map. Now, this isn't just another agreement. This is a partnership that's been years, no, decades in the making, and its impact is going to be felt everywhere from Mumbai to Madrid. To really get the sheer scale of this, just look at this number, 2 billion. That's the combined number of people brought together by this single deal. You've got 1.4 billion people in India and the entire 27-nation European Union all under one economic umbrella. It's huge. And it all became official on January 27, 2026. After years and years of painstaking talks, finally a breakthrough. India and the EU finalized one of the largest free trade agreements in modern history. So today, we're going to unpack how this monumental deal finally came to be. So what really makes this handshake so historic? Well, beyond just the number of people involved, the economic power that's at play here is just staggering. Think about this. Together, these two regions make up nearly a quarter of the entire world's economic output, a full 25%. You're combining one of the fastest growing economies on the planet with a global giant in tech and manufacturing. The result, one of the largest trade zones ever. And at its heart, a free trade agreement like this is actually a pretty simple idea. It's all about making it way easier for these two massive economies to do business with each other, by lowering taxes on goods and just simplifying the whole rulebook.
But what's really incredible is that this agreement was nearly 2 decades in the making. Seriously, this wasn't something that just happened overnight. It was a long, complicated, and sometimes frustrating journey to get here. So the whole journey started way back in 2007, but progress was slow and then talks just completely stalled for years. It wasn't until 2021 that a new political energy got things moving again, finally paving the way for the big agreement in 2026.
So you have to ask, right? Why did it take so long? Well, the talks were incredibly complex, basically tangled up in this knot of competing interests. It came down to a few major sticking points that caused years and years of delays. And this is where the real conflict was. On one side, India wanted to protect its local car makers with high import taxes. It also wanted to shield its millions of farmers and make sure life-saving medicines stayed affordable. But on the other side, the EU wanted to sell its cars in India, open up new markets for its farm products, and enforce really strong patents. For years, it just seemed like these two positions could never meet in the middle. So how in the world did they finally break the deadlock? Let's crack open this agreement and see what each side actually got out of the final deal. All right, let's kick things off with what India gained. By breaking down those trade barriers, this deal opens up enormous opportunities for Indian businesses looking to sell their stuff in that massive European market. This is a huge win for them. I mean, before this, Indian exporters faced taxes of up to 12% on things like textiles and electronics. With those tariffs gone, Indian products suddenly become way more competitive. And it's not just goods. The deal also makes it easier for skilled professionals in things like IT and engineering to work in the EU, which is a massive boost for India's powerful services sector. And for the European Union? Well, this agreement swings open the doors to one of the world's fastest growing and most dynamic markets. This is all about gaining a strategic foothold for the future. So European cars and high-tech machinery will see their tariffs in India gradually reduced, making them more affordable for Indian customers. But what's really crucial here is that the deal also gives legal protection to European companies investing in India, especially in super important areas like renewable energy. But, this agreement is about so much more than just euros and rupees. It builds into something much bigger. We're talking about power and strategy on the world stage. And that really is the key question, isn't it? After almost 20 years of stalled talks, what changed? Why did a compromise suddenly become possible in 2026? Well, the answer really lies in our changing world. In a world of fragile supply chains and shifting alliances, the motivations for both sides suddenly lined up. Europe realized it needed to diversify its suppliers, while India saw a golden opportunity to become a new global manufacturing hub. They both saw a strategic need for a strong, reliable partner. This quote just nails it perfectly. In the 21st century, economic influence is a critical tool of foreign policy. And that's what makes this agreement just as much a geopolitical move as it is an economic one. Okay, but it's not all sunshine and roses. This agreement isn't without its challenges and its critics. Signing the deal is one thing, but making it actually work for everyone, that's a whole different ballgame.
And there are some really valid concerns, especially in India. You've got small farmers and local manufacturers who are worried they just won't be able to compete with European imports. And at the same time, you have activists raising tough questions about whether the agreement does enough to protect strong environmental and labor standards on both sides.
So ultimately, signing the deal is really just the beginning. Its real impact, whether it creates widespread prosperity or actually deepens inequality, that's all going to be determined by how it's put into practice over the coming years. The hard part starts now. So in a pretty uncertain world, India and Europe have chosen cooperation over going it alone, and they've placed a massive bet on each other. Is this a bridge to a more stable and prosperous future, or is it a high-stakes gamble? The honest answer is we don't know yet, but the impact of that choice will be felt for decades to come.